12น้ำก็นองเต็มตลิ่งเราทั้งหลายชายหญิงสนุกกันจริงวันลอยกระทง
ลอยลอยกระทงลอยลอยกระทง
ลอยกระทงกันแล้วขอเชิญน้องแก้วออกมารำวงวันลอยกระทง
รำวงวันลอยกระทงบุญจะส่งให้เราสุขใจบุญจะส่งให้เราสุขใจ
วันเพ็ญเดือน12น้ำก็นองเต็มตลิ่งเราทั้งหลายชายหญิงสนุกกันจริงวันลอยกระทง
ลอยลอยกระทงลอยลอยกระทง
ลอยกระทงกันแล้วขอเชิญน้องแก้ว
Hello everyone! Did you know that Thailand lies between Cambodia, Myanmar, and Laos, with the Gulf of Thailand to its south? The culture in Thailand is a mix of strong Indian influences, Chinese traditions, and elements that are uniquely Thai. Thailand is the 50th largest country in the world, with an area roughly equal to France, with rugged mountains in the north and world-famous tropical beaches in the south. It is a land of pristine beauty. Much of Thailand's culture comes from the ethnic Thai people. One of the most important influences on culture in Thailand is Buddhism. Many of the traditions and beliefs of the people in Thailand stem directly from Buddhist principles. Hinduism has also made important contributions to Thai culture, and the close links between Thailand and India can be seen in art, literature, and in many Thai customs. Thailand's population is nearly 70 million, roughly two-thirds are from the ethnic groups. Although the ethnic Thai people can be divided into dozens of different subgroups, traditions, languages, and cultures differ only slightly. This leads to a population with a strong sense of shared traditions and cultural identity. The remaining third of population is made up primarily of Chinese, as well as minorities including Vietnamese, Khmer, Hmong, and Mian. Even among these diverse ethnic groups, the Thai language is widely spoken and understood, and the Thai script is often used in place of traditional writing styles. Since 1950s, Thailand's government has made efforts to preserve and strengthen the sense of national culture and national identity. During the 1980s and 1990s, however, Thailand saw a resurgence in local culture and traditions. Although there is still a strong national identity, local food, dance, music, celebrations, and beliefs have begun to play a more important role in Thai life.
Early Thai literature was primarily concerned with religion and monarchy until the mid-19th century. Thai verse was written exclusively by the aristocracy or royalty. The only educated classes were able to do so. The Thailand literature was traditionally heavily influenced by Indian culture. Thailand's national epic is a version of the Ramayana called the Ramakien, beginning with the Chakri dynasty in the late 18th century, writing for both the court and the public flourished. New trends in literary style. Phra Aphai Mani by Thailand's greatest poet. Dynastic chronicles and poetry usually were dominant until the 20th century, when King Rama VI helped foster the birth of the modern Thai novel. Traditional literature. The National Museum of Thailand in Bangkok houses the earliest known written records of the Thai language, which are stone inscriptions dating back to 1292, commemorating the invention of the modern Thai alphabet by King Ramkhamhaeng. Some 9 years later, the stone chronicles the life of the king, but also discusses Thai history, society, and politics of the time. Stone inscriptions from the same period at Bangkok's Wat Po details the proverbs of the king and contain the very earliest record of Thai poetry. Folktales. Folklore has a major role in shaping of Thai literature. It has influenced interpretations of the Jatak stories given to ghost stories and served as the basis for both songs and jokes are still popular in Thailand today. One of the most important genre of folklore is the Chak Chak Wong Wong. Jatakas period. The Tribu Mikata was complemented by tales about the various lives of Buddha called Jatak in Thai Chaadok. The Jataka were already popular during Sukhothai period and remain an essential feature of Thai literature and art today. They were originally based on Hindu Jataka stories imported from India. In total, there are 547 such Jataka tales in the central Buddhist canon, the Tipitaka. But over the centuries, extra stories based on local folklore were added to the tales to make them more familiar to Thai people. Sukhothai period. The Sukhothai period in Thai history is perhaps best known for its sculpture. It was also the period in which Thai literature began. Sri Chulalak and King Lithai are known writers from this period. King Lithai authored a long poetic dissertation on the three worlds of Buddhist cosmology called the Trumibkahata. Ayutthaya period. During the Ayutthaya period in 1350s to 1767, Thai literature flourished for much of this era. Poetry was especially well represented in Ayutthaya and developed into the primary form of literature, complete with rules for measure and rhyme. Most known poets during the Ayutthaya period were Buddhist monks, which would explain why so much of the work from this era was found in temples. Poetry was also important in Ayutthaya period that it became one of the most important artistic and historical legacies of the kingdom. The best known writer from this time was the King Narai, whose work remains among the most important in Thai history. His famous work is Samuk Takot, a long narrative poem.
The early 20th century. The early 20th century also brought rapid change to Thailand and Thai literature. Many short stories and poems were written. King Vajirabhut or Rama VI was a prolific writer both in Thai and Western languages. Prince Nara wrote plays and operas during this time, and Prince Bidya, known for his short stories and poems like Nala and Kanok Nakorn. Three of the most important works in this period were all written shortly before the 1932. These are Lakhon Haeng Chiwat or Life is a Play by Akat Dam Kueng and Kwan Pit Krang or The First Mistake by Bupa Kunchon and Tongkram Chiwat or The War of Life by Kulap Saipradit. Kaisar Rangkanang in this period went on to write over 40 novels and nearly 100 short stories and was honored in 1986 as one of the Thailand's greatest authors.
Bangkok period. Literature survived the collapse of Ayutthaya and continued to prosper during the modern Bangkok period. King Rama I wrote a famous version of the Ramakyan in 1798, in which elements of Buddhist philosophy were added and the institution and accomplishments of Ayutthaya ingrained. Rama I also wrote the Unarat in 1787, another of Thai's literature's essential work. During the reign of Rama II, Thai literature further expanded and influenced new drama and dance. The other famous writers in this period is Santorn Pu. His famous writing is the poem Fra Abay Mani, which took over 20 years to write. Ramakyan. During the 17th and 18th centuries, Ayutthaya also saw development of the Ramakyan or Glory of Rama, the most important and influential piece in the history of Thai literature and the country's national epic. The Ramakyan was derived from the Hindu Ramayana, one of the two great poetic dramas of Hinduism. The story gained fame because it was easily adapted to theater, which served to entertain as much as educate all Thai. Justice, gratitude, integrity, and fidelity are the most major themes in Ramakyan, much more than in Indian Ramayana. In this way, the story has made an incredible imprint on Thai cultural identity. CM period. The 19th century is not as well known as other for its accomplishments, but there are developments that shaped the direction of Thai literature. The printing press was introduced in Thailand, which led to the mass production of book. The first literary book in Thai was published in Nerat, London, based on the travels of Siamese ambassador to England.
Post-World War II, war era had a pronounced effect on Thai society and culture. Dramatic increase in prostitution, narcotics, and corruption were associated with American servicemen. The very close relationship between the Thai and US government alarmed many Thais who feared American ideas and customs polluting their culture. Sulak Siwarak launched serious criticism against the Thai government, warning about the dangers of American influences. Other poets joined him. By the late 1960s, Thai literature reflected the coming revolution. Short stories like Sujit Wong Tet's Kamon Lasandran or Second Nature, One Young Mai Koe or As If It Had Never Happened by Witayakon Siangkun highlighted the clash of American modernism with rural life and traditional values. Contemporary period. Thai literary world have also become powerful social critics. Poets and artist Angkarn Kalyanapong focuses much of his work on environmental, political corruption, and the erosion of Buddhist values in modern Thailand, while Sulak Sivaraska, a poet, wrote about social justice in Thailand. The infusion of foreign ideas and particularly Western influence into Thai literature has clearly been the most important development of the modern era. Technology, political, economic, and social change, and particularly reforms in education, have also had great impact by making literature accessible to many more Thai people. In this way, the content and style of modern writing has significantly changed. It is now much more realistic and immediate. Modern Thai literature is less confined to Buddhist philosophy, mythology, and folklore. Poets like Kamsing Srinawak, Kampun Buntavi, Suwat Waradilok, and Angkarn Kalyanapong and other poets addresses issues such as class conflict, discrimination, the transformation of nature, technology and globalization, and the struggle in the beliefs between generations.